Hollow Knight.
Previously on Hades. It starts playing Carry On Our Wayward Son.
Joe, can I get a few lines from you just to see the levels?
Joe?
Yeah, Joe.
Joe Mustachio? Mustachio Joe?
Mustachio.
Mustache.
Mustachio.
Guys, this is actually going to be my last cast. I'm going to be on vacation when you guys do the last fucking episode of review.
What?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait, you're on vacation what, next week?
Yeah, I leave Wednesday.
Oh, fuck, me too.
Like, I'm like leaving already.
Oh, so just me and Danny.
Potentially. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna bring my webcam, so if I have time to do it, I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll actually get Luchin for that one then. That's just the last episode.
Okay.
I mean,
At least
I'll
we'll have-
do it too. Who wants?
Yeah.
You can replace me for the last episode, the last review.
She's like, fuck that shit. I ain't talking to those fatties.
Quite fat, yes.
Oh, man. Let's see what's going on
My
here.
eye is like bothering me. It's like I got something.
Create a Twitch account? What the fuck?
Create it, bro. You've been lying to us,
bro.
This is so weird. My, no, knock it off. Go away. What?
Carry on my wayward son. Thanks, Josh. Now it's in my head.
You're welcome. At least something is.
Oh.
Oh.
Just carry on, my wayward son.
Savagery.
Last episode, Joe.
I'm leaving.
Let me see. Oh, what
Shut
the
up,
hell?
Lambs.
There's all these credits.
It's like, fuck you guys. I do what I want.
Yes, I'm going home. This fucking guy going home.
I don't understand what's wrong with that Twitch right now. Well, my Streamlabs, I'm streaming, I'm live, it's working on Twitch, but for the chat, for some reason, it's telling me, "Hey, log in so you can see your chat." I'm like, "The fuck? I'm streaming on Twitch." How do you not?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, you have the same problem?
Well, it's showing me that on my Streamlabs.
And that's it. It's telling me to log in. I'm like, "Fuck, do you mean log in?" And I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the fucking password right now.
You know what we have to review next?
What was that?
What?
Have you guys seen Pam and Tommy?
No.
Oh, these guys fucked up. They gave me double batteries. Nice. There's on Netflix or is it Disney? Where are we watching it on?
Pam and Tommy?
Yeah, Pam and Tommy. It's the story of Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee.
Oh my god,
my God.
that's not on Disney.
Uh,
Oh, it is.
Oh,
It is.
fuck.
You know what else is on Disney? Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah,
that.
Really?
you have to set your rating to like mature or adult or something along
I
those
know
lines.
it.
But once you do that, you're. But they only have like the first 7 seasons, I think, or
Oh, do they?
they don't have it.
Like 13,
Only-
14 seasons.
Oh, they're at 13 or 14 seasons now.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Oh, sick! So that means they have some of the good shit.
Yeah, no, they have. Yeah, it's the last season there when Max all jacked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows that we're a lot. Like I'm on your what's it? Your Twitch. It shows that you're live. It shows
Yeah.
that I'm live as well.
Yeah, no, I got my chat to work.
I did.
I just logged in. There's a bunch of new features though in Streamlabs. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Hey, whatever happened to that? Those followers, the flash
they're
followers.
still there.
shit.
They'll get them out at some point. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not-
it just shows that you're following. That's good. I mean, it's gonna boost for now, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what it'll do, but good news is that I saw somebody follow the channel actually, the YouTube channel, and it's an actual person. Like they
Wait, what's the name? What's the name?
Shit, hang on.
Oh, I love shit. Hang on.
That might be my
Okay,
buddy.
okay, so it's not organic. Gotcha.
I don't know. I need to know what their name is
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
because I didn't send him the link. I just said we have a YouTube channel, and he's like, under what name? I'm like, the same name, Damage Vision. And then, but I mean, that's just be coincidence. I told him that like 3 weeks ago. So.
Oh, it's the actual person's name. I don't know if I should say it because I'm live.
Peter Filato.
Huh?
Peter Filato.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That is who it is.
Okay.
Sorry, Peter. He outed you, not me.
Well,
It's like,
his name is there. It's like
Bitch.
my email has my name on it. So.
so let's see. So just so we're clear, for the last episode, Joe, you ain't there. Josh, we're on the fence. Danny, you're there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll see if we can get Luch on or something, or if it's just me and you, it's fine also. But if Luch wants to join, he's more than welcome.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
I think when I edit this, I'm gonna open with a Roseanne intro.
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah.
How did her intro go again?
What are you
Come
playing?
and knock on my door.
No, that's Three's Company.
I
What's
love
who playing with?
Joe. There's some red flashing in his face the whole time.
My dildo ran out of batteries. Sorry.
nice.
What's up, Allie? Thank you for joining. I don't see your boyfriend in the chat. I don't appreciate that.
I do appreciate that. He has nothing good to say.
Damn.
Savage.
You just see like a book comes flying into frame right at Joe's head. It's like...
A used tampon.
Oh. You know
That's
what,
pleasant.
man? It was fucked up. You know what I discovered? I grew up with 4 sisters, and this thought never crossed my mind or anything, but I
Oh, here we
discovered
go.
what the peanut butter jelly wipe was.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Peanut butter jelly wipe?
Yep.
I can only imagine.
Exclusive to women.
Exclusivity. Because they're dirty people,
Huh?
right? Have you ever been into a woman's like high school bathroom? It smells worse than the guy's bathroom.
No, I haven't, but when I used
recently,
I used to hang out in the girls' bathroom all the time.
with that look,
Jesus.
but no,
Stank.
when I used to work at McDonald's, man, as a kitchen crew, for some reason, the kitchen crew were the people that had to go and clean the bathrooms. Yeah, the people that prepped the food were the ones responsible for cleaning the bathrooms.
That makes sense. That makes absolute sense.
Yeah, when we would go into the women's bathroom to clean it, it was fucking horrible, man. It was nasty.
Oh, you. Oh, you. Bitches stink. I'm fine.
Wow.
And then in 2 weeks we're gonna be like, spiritually, the universe gives us what we need, and we must love everybody. Fucking bitches.
You smell like the
That's-
inside of a seashell.
That's my. You smell worse than my grandmother eating cabbage.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Okay. Okay.
So as
I
I
got
mentioned,
that.
as I mentioned earlier in the chat, when I started off, guys, don't be afraid to like stop me in my tracks when I'm doing the episode breakdown and add your 2 cents, or just something you notice that you want to highlight. Go for it. You know, it's the time. It is the time. I fucking saw that. So, whoa.
Oh,
Is that happening?
Well.
Is that happening to all of you?
What?
that's weird. My
What's happening to all of you?
My lights are flickering, and I
lights are
noticed that you
flickering
guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
mine just flickered as well. What the hell?
Yo, we're all far apart from each other. What the fuck?
Hold on, Daniel. Daniel's on mute. Josh, did that
Yeah,
happen to
what?
you?
yeah, apparently it happens to all of us.
Yep.
Fuck.
My
Yeah, it was like Christina just came over, like the lights are flickering. I'm like, yeah, that
I'm
happens.
finishing to blow dry my hair.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's just...
The surge protector on my computer flickered 3 times. That's why I was like,
Dad's getting yelled at. What's wrong with my fucking hair? Oh, is it? It's set to... Oh, son of a bitch.
What?
I'm going to turn off this shield mode shenanigans. I don't know. Streamlabs offered to turn on something called shield mode, and it turned my chat into followers only. Well, fucking follow me, Static Terp. Then you could...
Yeah, but that was some weird ass shit though, right?
Yeah, no, the fact that it happened to
Yeah.
all of us, and none of us live in the same corner of Quebec at all is weird.
Yeah, we're
I thought it
literally
was
on
me. I thought you guys
all
saw
ends of
something.
Montreal.
I thought you guys saw something on my screen.
No, it was happening to me right here.
Guys, we're being attacked.
Nice. I
This
like
is
that.
it.
I'm serious. It's because we're talking about things that like conspiracy stuff.
Mm.
It's a warning to me and Wazim.
Yeah.
You know what,
I don't know this-
Sariella? You know why we're losing power? Because you guys are draining it. Damn states.
Fucking stay.
Americans.
Give me back my power.
Why? Channel what?
It's slow mode.
The channel apparently is in slow mode.
Yeah, it is. I'm turning all that stuff off.
Nice.
I
Lord.
message you too quickly. It's getting mad.
Who's getting mad?
Look at this chin fat.
Who's getting mad? Tell them to calm their tits.
Well, I believe Star Wars.
There we go. Is it foxed? Yeah, it is. All right.
Daniel, what are you eating tonight?
Tits have been called.
I
what?
I figured I'd save it for a little later.
Okay.
It's
Probably
good.
have some more cookies.
Oh, is that why Christina came in to ask you when do you want me to bring in the cookies?
Yeah, basically.
When shall
Oh,
I
what the
give
fuck
you
is
my
that? Are you
cookies,
getting
Tyler?
like fresh baked goods every night? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Nah, it's just story.
Just because we got what the hell is it? Those bags of Ben and Jerry's that have like pre-made cookies. We had like a giveaway at school, so like we got them kind of dirt cheapish.
You
Oh,
had
yeah.
a giveaway at school. Who the fuck is? Oh, right. Sorry. I was confused for a second. Oh man. So let's kick it off, man. Episode 7, right?
Alrighty.
Hey.
Term tits.
Good
Tits
things
is
are coming.
approved.
Good things are coming.
Hmm.
Why are we talking about tits?
I don't know. Apparently, Damage Vision used add permitted terms tits and the FU signal.
Yeah, every
Or
time someone
emoji.
does or says something that's like questionable, the system is like, "Hey, do you want to permit this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, allow it." So
You want to prevent this? It says
allow
permit it.
Permit it.
Oh, okay.
You want to prevent this? Maybe.
So I can't give the middle finger.
No, you can't now.
No,
it
now
won't
you
give you a
can.
problem.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
So, episode 7. Well, to start us off, but the first thing I'll say is that holy shit, another episode that just looks great. Like it was nice to look at. Good eye candy. Loved it. So we start off the episode and we're in Cyberpunk 2077. The music, the trench coat, the rain, the purple lighting. It was pretty cool. It did a better job of setting that mood up than the previous episode did.
Yeah.
And we get Imperial Chick, who is sneaking around because she has to have a video conference with Moff Gideon, which confirms that he has been released. I like that they didn't drag that out. He's hiding. We need to find him. Did he break out? Did he not break out? I was like, no, fuck it. I'm out and I'm doing my things. That's what's going on right now. So, they didn't hold back on that. And then we get a scene of Moff Gideon walking through this hallway with a bunch of like laser or like force field or fields or whatever, laser fields that disable as he walks by. And we see these some different types of stormtroopers. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but he walks past like these test tubes or these giant vats. I don't know what's in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, automatically assumed his little clone process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, you see, they're probably referencing Palpatine in some way, shape, or form.
it's one of the Palpatines. Oh, go nuts, Static! If you want to try typing things, I do have an auto banner, so just watch out. um. So yeah, so then he has his little his meeting with all the other Imperials that are scattered throughout the world, to have discussions that they need resources, they need supplies to get their jobs done and whatnot, and that they keep mentioning this General Thrawn, what did I write down?
Yeah.
Grand Admiral.
Ron, yeah.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
Now my understanding is that's supposed to mean something, but to me it means nothing, and to you, Josh, probably also the same.
Yeah.
So
It's,
anybody
it's
want to enlighten us?
It's the Rebels. He'll be out in Ahsoka.
But he's from Rebels.
Yeah.
And is he would you say that he's a bigger threat than
Well,
Gideon?
he's that forced to be reckoned with at that time, right? But Gideon seems to be like the I don't know what's going to happen to him. I don't know if they're going to kill him off now, or if they're going to continue his story. But like, there's always those two sets of power. Because I mean, at this point, there's no more Darth Vader. There's no more Palpatine that we know of. So everyone's kind of struggling for that type of power. So Thrawn is supposed to come back because he's supposed to be the man for the Imperials, and he does. Spoiler alert! Just because we see him in the Ahsoka trailer, so it's it'll be interesting. I'm really really looking forward to it.
Would you
It's
say
almost
would you say that he's like the Thanos level threat for Mandalorians?
No, Gideon right now is the threat for Mandalorians. Thanos, I don't think will have anything to do with the Mandalorians. That story will be taken care of already. I'd be surprised to see the Mandalorians.
Dealing with Ron.
Oh no, we will see them. No, we won't.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
So, anyways, so that's who Grand Admiral General Thrawn is, and after that discussion, they also explain how they want to eradicate the Mandalorians because of the fact that they want to return to their home planet. It's not exactly explained why they want to do that, but they do touch on that. I wonder if they will. Sorry, Static Terp says. I wonder if they will introduce Kira.
Who?
Kira or Kyra?
Ira?
QI''RA. Does that mean anything to you?
Raw.
No.
Okay. Are you okay? He's probably doing like a Bart Simpson.
She was
Hey,
in-
say something bad.
She was in the Solo series.
Oh yeah.
Remember Solo? That chick at the end, Khaleesi, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's her. She's basically Han Solo's love interest. There's like all this stuff. They led you on that something was gonna happen with her, and then you never hear from her again.
There's a dragon rider. Okay.
There's a dragon rider.
Yes. Okay. Okay. No, didn't know who that was. Wait, Solo series, like TV show.
Not TV show, but it was the Solo movie.
The Solo
That's what I
movie.
meant to say.
Okay. So yeah, so these Empire dudes wage war against Mandalorians because they're a threat to whatever their grand plan is or whatever their.
Well, it looked like they were just trying to gather where the resources they had. Because even when he was explaining it to not Kira, Bo-Katan, he was like, "Yeah, this planet's ripe with resources, so we'll kind of want to take all of that shit."
Yeah.
So I
It's
feel like that's
because he was hiding there, right? That
yeah.
was the whole reason. Because he was like, "What does he care about the Mandalorians? Oh, we can't let them grow. Why? Because they're like this little measly gang that's like screwing up your little plans to move your minions in place." It's like, oh, because you're already on the planet, in the underneath the surface, like sucking up everything it has to offer. Okay, this makes sense now. Why the Mandalorians have to die? So
Well, isn't it like the richest the richest place of Beskar? Like that's why
Yeah.
he's trying to build all his stormtroopers with Beskar. Because like imagine they're not one shot kills now. Now they're an actual force to be reckoned with.
yeah,
Yeah,
we saw in
Beskar-
the fight battle.
Beskar seems just a tiny bit overpowered.
Vibranium.
So after the Imperials have that discussion, we cut to the scene where we get a shot of Navarro. It's being rebuilt by the people, and then we get amazing shots of the ships arriving. That Imperial cruiser, everyone arriving and setting up camp with the Mandalorians that are already established on Navarro. Funny that they chose to set up in like the desert, like in the middle of nowhere, like really far from everybody on that planet. But I get it. And the arrival of the Mandalorians was just so cool to me to see them confront standing in front of each other. You could definitely feel like the tension, animosity, or whatever you want to call it. And the two tribes just basically don't acknowledge each other that much. And Bo-Katan has a little moment, a little speech, trying to pump them up and get them ready to head back to Mandalore in order to retake it, right? And then we get a small visit from Apollo Creed. He brings in some alcohol, saying, "Yo, got this from Coruscant, some good shit. Might want to drink it when you're alone because these people suck." And then he shows him he has revived IG-11 into IG-12. And IG-2, honestly, that's kind of, I thought that was fucked up how they like reanimated his corpse so that Grogu could fuck around with it.
It is just no. It's funny you mention that. It's
We're
funny you
gonna do
mention that.
something with Grogu.
Yeah, so Grogu gets an Iron Man suit now. And
Oh, fuck.
and there's that little scene where the creature that brought out IG-12 hops out of the machine and he walks past Grogu. He's like, "Yo, no squeezy! Don't fucking touch me." I thought it was nice. I like it. I thought it was good.
Wait, she's in the anime? Which anime? I know there was a short of her. Like there was like this short little clip with her, and I don't remember who else. But
You're referring
they
to
did something
Kira?
else with- Yeah.
Yeah, Psychterp says that Kira is in the anime. Anime like Star Wars anime, like actual anime, like
There
Japanese
was something called Star Wars. I think it was called Star Wars Visions, and one of the first episodes was an yeah. It
Yeah,
looks
I thought
the
that.
fight looks really damn good.
It is cool.
There's oh my god, there's so much fucking. Anyways,
I can see it going into an anime style, just simply because of the fighting and the Jedi and all that.
so Grogu gets his Iron Man suit, and what I like is that he does have a very minuscule way of communication now. Yes, no, yes, no. Clearly he abuses it and annoys the shit out of him, and Grogu has like his teenage moment just trying to piss off his dad.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's pretty cool that we finally have a yes no communication method with him, at least, instead of just baby grunts all the time. And then the Mandalorian have their feast again, where they try to reunite the tribes and announce that they're going to take back Mandalore, and they need people in order to accomplish this. And after that rally moment, they pretty much take off immediately. Like they didn't rest at all. They packed up, they left, they went on their way, and what's after that? After the rally moment, they take off for Mandalore, and the Mandalorians, and then you see them arrive to Mandalore. They go to the storm cloud. They open up the vents, and you see them looking at their planet, and they start discussing back and forth, like, "Oh my god, it was worse than I thought." And another one sharing his story, like, "Oh, I used to be here. I was here when this went down." That kind of stuff. So it's really nice to see how they're rekindling what they used to experience. And then that scene when they all landed, and you could tell like it was an important scene, an important moment for them because it was the first time they set foot on their home planet, and the first time in quite some time. And then we get Bo-Katan coming up with a plan, and she's leading the scouting party to secure the forge and some land, so that they can bring in the settlers. What I like is that it's not. I thought it was well done because they didn't. It's not like everybody get on the ship. Ship lands. Everybody get out. No, they actually had a strategy and a plan, and they kind of followed through with it. So I thought it was pretty cool and well done. And then we're introduced to the survivors on Mandalore and their fucking awesome land pirate ship or whatever we want to call it. The thing was amazing. It looked so good. it looked so good. It was so nice. And after that, so once they meet these survivors, who were always loyal to Bo and to the Creed and so on and so forth, except for wearing the helmet, obviously. After that, we have a dinner scene with them because obviously they're starving, they're craving food and whatnot. And this is a part that I didn't understand. It didn't click for me because maybe I missed something in the previous episodes and the previous seasons. How she had to announce that she did surrender and she voluntarily gave up the Darksaber to Moff Gideon. And how she thought that by doing that it would stop them from destroying this planet or bombing it and that kind of stuff. Correct?
Yeah, that's
But-
just the backstory of Bo-Katan.
But what was the impression that they did have then? That she wouldn't sacrifice the dark saber, and that they suffered because she wouldn't.
I just think in the mist and the haze of stuff, like people didn't realize it, so there was like a back deal that was done, and she thought it was gonna help her people out. I mean, when you're at the top, you don't have to discuss everything with everybody. You know, she had like a bunch of followers, and I guess it just kind of blew up in her face. Like she said, she betrayed him, and then before she had a chance, then they busted up the planet.
Right.
So those guys stayed loyal. She had to say it. She had to tell them, like, look, you know, I kind of fucked up. So
Yeah, because they were under the impressions that they got bombed because she wouldn't surrender.
exactly.
Okay. So yeah, so that dinner scene occurred, and then Bo-Katan starts questioning herself, wondering if this is worth anything. You know, these people are all being held together by this stupid darksaber, and that's the only reason we're all working together right now. And then honestly, we get the Mando speech of ages. Like he pumped her up, made her understand why what we're doing, why we're doing all this, and why these things are happening. And after that little pump up scene, we finally press on through the land in the pirate ship or land cruiser. And we get a scene of the two tribes, the loyalists and the forgotten, I guess we can call them, or the ones who have lost the way. And they're playing chess, and obviously a fight ensues because they disagree on the rules and so on and so forth. And of course, Grogu saves the day. No. Hey, look, it worked. It worked. All right, he somehow saved him. He stopped the fight. And I thought it was an interesting line for Bo-Katan to look at Din Djarin and say, "Oh my God, you taught your disciple very well." And he's like, "I didn't teach him that." And you see like Grogu give like a slight nod to his dad. He's like, so it's like, he's leaving the Padawan phase.
I did good.
But I think it's because he heard her, right? He heard Bo-Katan. He's like, "Are you gonna stop this?" And she's like, "I can't. Like, I can't stop this. You know, it's the way. This is the way. They're gonna fight it out. They're gonna fight it out." And then, but Grogu is not part of anything. So
No.
he's like that. He, you know, it was cool for him to like acknowledge that and be like, they shouldn't fight. He understood it too. Like everyone knows that you guys shouldn't be fighting. Okay, you did it. He knocked you down 3 times. Fine. Like just get your fucking.
And while she was having that speech with the survivors when they first met and they were eating, she was telling like how the only thing that destroyed, like, Mandalorians are really difficult people to beat. Like they think that no one could beat them. The only people that can defeat them are each other. It's like we keep dividing ourselves. So a little bit of
real life, isn't it?
political injection. So so after that, we get the armorer who loads up all the people that are sickly or too weak to make the journey, and she takes them back out. Like, I like that they had a plan and they're executing on it, and they're actually doing it in a way that's tactful. I just appreciate that. Like, it makes sense, and to me, it's very Star Wars. You know, it's multiple things happening to get everything going in one direction. I like that. And then all of a sudden, the land pirate vehicle is destroyed by Shadow of the Colossus. No idea what that is, and it was never addressed again. I don't know. I guess Mandalorian is just like fucking living where dangerous shit is, you know? Like,
We really want
Well,
this place
there's
back?
apparently this thing called the Mythosaur, which is massive.
yeah.
A mythosaur.
Um,
Oh God, it's Pretendicon.
so, so after all this,
Uses the power of make believe.
the land pirate vehicle is destroyed, and it just so happens it was destroyed right at the entrance of the cave. So they make it into the cave, and they find what they call the ancient forge, or the core of their civilization. And flames have been out for God knows how long. It's been depleted. And right after realizing this, we get attacked by these Imperial doppelgangers of Boba Fett's wearing Beskar armor. And I don't understand this. Like, Beskar armor just flat out deflects those shots by default.
To a certain
It's
range.
supposed to be. I believe it was supposed to be able to withstand lightsaber lightsaber slashes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's
at one
how
point
they
she
were.
shoots
That's
him
how.
in the neck, right?
What's
Like,
that?
you see a scene where like they're shooting, and then like she puts point blank to the neck, like in
Yeah.
between the
Yeah, they basically have to try and get them in between the armor where there's openings.
Yeah,
But they
static.
were supposed to be able to contend with the Jedi.
Yeah, static trip agrees. It's like it's supposed to deflect that kind of ammunition to an extent, not
Yeah.
completely. And I remember like in that fight scene when it was basically the Mandalorian versus these Imperial soldiers. We got some pretty good action scenes like out of Mando where he was just like raw brute force. And then we had Truck with his chain machine gun, who was just like going crazy on him. And Bo-Katan at one point, she kind of went fucking John Wick, like just like rolling on the floor, gun in the neck, pow, we get the next one. Like they were just going off. Static says that blasters and sabers are resistant, but not cannons and etc.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah, I
Death
think you
Star
see
armor.
that like that whole pirate raid episode where the pirates were just they took over Navarro.
Yeah.
You see them at one point bust out a cannon like he
Oh yeah.
Static Trooper's thing. Like he blasted through a couple of Mandalorians there,
Yeah.
but like the regular laser fire, they were actually able to like stop them.
Okay.
To, like you said, to a certain extent.
So it's their version of a bulletproof vest. Like it hurts like a bitch, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I guess it's gonna depend on the heat signature, right? I mean, like if you stand in front of a turbo laser, like you're disintegrated. You know what I mean? Like if you get shot by an X-wing, I think you're dead.
Hey, when did his helmet get?
By the energy alone that laser is coming at you, it's more at that point. You know what I mean? Like versus a hand blaster or versus like a stormtrooper. Stormtrooper like laser gun, like Beskar can handle that. Lightsaber.
I feel like Chewie's gun would be a pretty solid contender for the armor.
Yeah.
Well, what's the guy's name is Truck?
Yeah.
Truck, yeah.
Yeah.
His gun was going through it. Like he was just there blasting it off him, and they're like,
No, but
So,
if it's a thing of like
higher
if it's a thing of like some of it makes it through, some of it not, depending on how like the angle or the heat or whatever, then if you have a chain fed belt machine gun of lasers, and at one point one of those bullets will go through. So
I do like that he used the shit out of that gun just to show that it's not like he can just go to town the entire time.
Yeah.
It did seem overpowered. Like every single time he used this, like, well, just put him in every scenario.
yeah, exactly.
That's
Static
like the
Terps,
heavy there. You have two
Give him
gun,
two
right?
jetpacks.
Yeah.
Except that
Static Terp says,
it's twice as fast.
think about Boba Fett. His helmet got dented but not penetrated. I guess
Yeah.
whenever it got hit.
When did it get dented?
When did what get dented?
Boba Fett's
Apparently
helmet.
It probably means like
In the tar pits, no?
Well, yeah, he was eaten by a fucking worm. I mean, that's not a laser. It's like
he has laser teeth.
So, anyways, after we get this attack, they're able to push them back and repel them, and you get a Mandalorian charge. You actually hear them chanting and screaming and trying to push the enemy out. And then the scene transitions, and like all of a sudden they're running in a space station. And for a second, I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, why is there electricity all of a sudden?" I was confused as hell. And what I like about this scene is that you can tell that the Mandalorians are pushing forward. They're struggling, but they're still pushing forward, and you can tell they're hesitant. And then Mando fucking comes in and just tanks everything. He tanks all the shots and leads the charge. Yeah, seriously.
Pretty much. But I'm not gonna lie,
He has
it seemed like it was
pure
getting
Beskar,
too easy.
He has the
He has
he has the pure Beskar.
He has
medal,
something else, right? Like Imperial something.
I think it's just pure or something, like a high
Your
grader.
Beskar, or
This was
maybe.
It was his reward
It was
for picking
for-
up Grogu.
Probably. It might have been forged better.
I don't know. Well, remember how like they had a Beskar spear, and
Yeah.
it looked dramatically different than the normal armor.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So
Whatever happened to that spear?
yeah,
Lost it, man.
Just
What in the?
it was
second
lost.
season?
Was it lost in the fight there against Moff Gideon?
no.
don't know.
Yeah, when he got the lightsaber, you have to drop one of them for that or something. When he got the dark saber,
Yeah.
he picked it up. He I think it's when he goes back and he meets Tank, and they're in that little like whatever, and he fights Tank for whatever reason because he wants the lightsaber, and I think at that point he loses his if I'm mistaken, I don't know why I'm remembering it that way, but he loses his spear in that fight.
Bane.
He's Bane.
Not
Oh yeah,
Bane.
Static Terp says that Boba Fett's dent isn't from the worm; it's from the shot in the head from Bane.
Check this, Batman.
I'm just gonna say this. That is
I mean, Boba Fett.
you really fucking paid attention to detail, man. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Damn, laser dented his armor. That's insane.
He got that out of a bar when he was drunk. Boing, oh.
Or maybe it was what's his name, bad guy from Die Hard 4 when he stole the Mandalorian armor. He gave him the dent. A discount Agent 47. That's who it is. So after Mandalorian Mando leads the charge, he's led into a trap. It was an ambush all along. And we finally realize that this is actually a pseudo imperial base, where they're developing the crap out of their technology, like you said, creating their Beskar armor. And his vision is to create a Beskar army, or in order to, in his words, restore order to the galaxy. And I like how Din Djarin put up a hell of a fight before he got captured. It was nice to see, like, he didn't just, oh, okay. No, he was ready to die in that moment, and it was.
Well, I mean, you could put stormtroopers in better armor, but they're still stormtroopers.
Don't do that. Yell.
Yeah, at least they can take like a bit of a beating now.
You can miss all you want, but if you can tank hits.
And after this, what's his name? Gideon shows up, and I think he has his own Beskar armor situation going on.
Was cool as fuck.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like the little horns on his helmet. I was like, that's.
It's still better than I already forgot his name from the movies.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
No, Kylo Ren was awesome. It's just only when he took off his mask.
Who's fucking embarrassing was Phasma.
If they had kept his helmet on till the end, Phasma would have been neat if she actually did something.
Exactly.
Like they just here we have this imposing menace. What are we gonna do with her? I don't know. Just tough her off a cliff or something.
Phasma was just a big ass.
It was like,
silver
the woman.
dollar.
It's enough. You don't have to. We just need a 6-foot actor in a suit that's a woman. You there?
Yeah, never show her face. Just keep her in the silver suit.
Game of Thrones is doing good. We'll get you in here. Oh, cool. So people will see my face. No, you're going to be in a helmet the entire time. All people know me. Don't worry. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, but she went from Game of Thrones, she got killed at some point, goes to Star Wars, gets killed at some point, then goes to Sandman, if you ever seen Sandman off Netflix.
No. I'm curious. Does that have anything to do with Marvel, or that's just the name that they chose?
There was a comic back in the early 2000s or 90s or something called Sandman.
So after we get the little ambush area, we find out what the Imperial's plans are, and Moff Gideon shows off his new suit with the horns.
So cool.
What I really like was that how they take Din Djarin away, and Gideon faces Bo-Katan, and they have a confrontation. And he's like, surrender to Darksaber. You've lost it. Return it to his rightful owner.
Hold on, you're missing the best part here, right? His whole classic 007 villain. This is what I'm doing. He just tells them everything.
Welcome to my secret lair.
Yeah, I would too, though. Why the fuck not? He has a new suit. He has a new base. He escaped custody.
I guess, but he's like,
guess who's free, motherfuckers?
I'll die alone. And I'm gonna tweet you, and now I have to kill you, and this is what I'm gonna do, and after that, I'm gonna do this. And after that, here are my passcodes. Why don't you just go to that room?
You're just mad.
Okay,
because he goes on a fantastic monologue, and you just go on rants. That's why you don't have a badass suit, no horns.
The dude was like literally before it. It's like, don't worry, I know how to keep secrets. We've been very secretive. We don't want to talk about it, but then reveals his entire plan.
Yeah, but that's how you do it. You tell everybody, so then they lower their expectations, then you shoot them after.
It's like he's basically trying to foreshadow Thrawn and make Thrawn seem like a bigger threat without actually doing it. It's like I'm just gonna make myself look like a dumbass. When Thrawn comes back, everyone will be like, "Oh, he is the real villain."
Look,
he's so full of himself.
He says everything because he's manifesting. Okay, he's manifesting. He'll never get into reality if he doesn't say something. He's just manifesting. It's fine.
Anyways, I thought it was funny, and I was just laughing because I'm like, "You fool."
You fell for the classic villain trope.
Joe was waiting for him to say Din Djarin's like, "Do you expect me to talk?"
I was half expecting Syndrome to just appear in there and start monologuing with him, and then realize that they both were monologuing.
Yeah. But so after the expose of his entire plan, yes, he has a confrontation with Bo-Katan and asks her to surrender the Darksaber, which we get a nice scene where Truck turns around and says, "Yo, this is the way," and then for some reason orders them to shoot a door that they can't shoot through nonstop. That's just and then for Gideon to say, "Hey, open those doors right now."
I'm gonna shoot these fools.
And
if he had set this trap up, wouldn't it have been easier just fill the room with gas? We know we're gonna trap them off here, gas, they'll die.
Or if they don't have gas, just open it a little and toss like a grenade or something.
Well, no, because they were cornered, right? You open the door, you're just like shooting fish in a barrel at that
Yeah.
point. But he wasn't expecting he forgot about the Darksaber where she could go through the wall.
yeah.
Oh, my weakness. Waiting too long.
So she takes the Darksaber. Takes the Darksaber.
Smart.
Fuck, I'm stupid.
He's a genius
Open the
Imperial.
door. I need to stop her.
Oh god.
Okay, we're almost done. And
Static turp. Yeah, I'm gonna avoid saying that. It's the bad guys from WW2.
those not so nice individuals.
So she takes a Darksaber, cuts a hole in the wall, and then great scene from Truck. Really nice scene.
yeah, it was good.
Decides to hold the line all on his own, locks the door, and again, I have to say it really does something. He just turns around, he goes, "Yo, what can I say? This is a way." And he just goes forward.
I love it. I love it. The only thing he could have said better was "Get to the chopper." That was the only thing I was waiting for.
Bo's like, "The fuck's a chopper?" But
Captain Imperial ship.
So he put up a great fight at the end. I loved how they took some video game elements and introduced it into the show a little bit. You saw his gun overheat the fuck out of itself to the point where it was malfunctioning.
Right.
Huh?
You can't shoot that long without something happening.
Well, exactly. But I mean, when have you seen that in the Star Wars movie where the guns overheat?
Exactly.
When did you see
Never.
them shoot as much? When did you see a Gatling gun?
I
That's
think I've
true.
seen it a few times.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
In
scene.
Rogue One. In Rogue One.
Yeah.
Go down Jedi's, yeah.
Wait, Rogue One? What the hell did that happen in Rogue One?
What's his name? Him and I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. The
Oh,
what's
yeah,
his-
him.
the
I
blind
don't
monk,
think it's a minigun though.
blind monk and his bodyguard. There, I forget his name.
No, I know what you're talking
all I remember is from Ip Man. That's it.
about. It was it, man.
So Truck is down there holding the line by himself, and then he goes fucking Hulk smash on these things when he can't use his gun anymore. He just starts slamming them on the ground and double fisting him, that kind of stuff. It's just, he's just pure rage. Shut up, Danny.
Well, they have
and then
to show the Mandalorians are stronger than the Stormtroopers, but again, it was 3 versus 1. But it took 3 of those guys to take down 1 Mandalorian for the Imperial
He was
Guard.
also
And
huge.
I don't
He was
know
like
if
a
this-
run-of-the-mill Mandalorian.
are the
yeah,
Mandalorian
kidding.
people actually supposed to be physically stronger? Like, can they take more?
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
so-
it's just because the guy was a lot bigger than everybody else.
The reason I'm asking that is because when they were having the fight on the pirate ship, the people that this is the way and the people that have lost the way, one is clearly not wearing a helmet, and Truck was clearly punching him in the head with his metal fists, and he wasn't responding to it. You know what I mean? And for a second, I was like, okay, is this TV land, or am I supposed to believe that these Mandalorians are stronger than just that? You know?
Wait, do they have metal on their glove? Are they gauntlets or are they just gloves?
Depends. Depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they just have blaster shielding. On
Brass
the-
knucks.
Yeah, kind of deal. Regardless, I think they're definitely a tougher race of people.
Okay. So after he takes out all of these stormtroopers or Beskar troopers, then we get these guards in red, and I think those are called the Pistorian or whatever you call them.
Well, I thought they were in the Imperial Guards, but I guess he called them something else.
Yeah,
yeah.
at the beginning of the episode, they mentioned like, "Hey, we need backup. I want 3 of these guards. I want an escort for my TIE fighters and bombers." Right? And I think that's what these 3 guards were. And yeah, they shredded him apart in seconds with their superior weaponry. Right? So and that was the end of Truck. So in the next season, we'll see Dozer come for his revenge. And then. And that's exactly where the episode ends, on that cliffhanger. of we'll say his name as instead of calling him Truck. Well, when Paz dies, the episode cuts right there, and then you get those sweet credits. You know, just to remind you what you saw throughout the episode. So all in all,
Oops.
all in all, I thought it was a great episode. But I want to hear from you guys now. I want to hear from you what you think.
Yeah, Dan.
Why me?
You remember
You
what
were here
happened?
last
You haven't been on the episode for like 10 episodes.
You weren't here last time. You gotta speak up now.
He hasn't been here in 3 episodes or 2 episodes, but you can't put him. You can't make him go first. Remember what happened last time?
Oh yeah.
Someone else go first. Don't put me on the spotlight.
Okay, I'll go
Let
first.
me copy off somebody else's homework for once.
It was okay, but there could be a little more racial overtones. Now, Dan, go ahead, elaborate.
You know what? It wasn't that bad. It was just like maybe a little bit too much like racially things and stuff. I don't know. I was trying to. Yeah. I got nothing.
There's no racial things whatsoever.
No,
I thought the episode was good. I mean, I really enjoyed it from the beginning. We see her, who she's talking to. She's talking to Gideon. We're talking about the Imperial spy, and then we're trying to figure out like why is he so who cares about the Mandalorians and the uprising, and then we find out right at the end why, because he's got his base on Mandalore, so that tied in really nice. I thought that was a good A plus. She meets the Mandalorians. She brings them. Everyone's okay. They got a bit of they got to like rough and tough with each other and like kind of like do dominant and who's dominant and what's not dominant, and that's just the Mandalorian way. I thought when Bo-Katan, and I'm like just like these are the speed notes. I found it funny when Bo-Katan asked like who's gonna come with me to the away party.
Oh yeah.
I'll come. I'll come. I'll go. I'm like I'll go. Oh, there's more. Okay, I'm waiting. And it was like, well, why don't you just all go? Because clearly there's only 20 of you and 18 of you said yes. So, that was the only thing I found like a little. If I really have to find something odd about the episode, and we knew, and I kind of predicted it. I said there's still that villain. We don't know who the Mandalorian's villain is going to be. I mean, we kind of knew that it would be Gideon because once we saw that he escaped, it was kind of leading to that, but we didn't know in what capacity. And now we know. And now he's got the base. And our last episode is going to be awesome because we're actually going to have a space battle because their fleet is there. They send bombers and interceptors. This is going to be wicked. So I think the episode did a really good job of setting up for the last one, and we're going to get some final Star Wars. But I think everything fell into place properly, and I knew as soon as the armorer took off and took all the wounded. Like I thought something weird was going to happen there. I thought she was going to like either betray them, or I thought something they weren't going to allow her on, or some weird. I was like, what's going to happen? She's leaving. Why is she leaving? There's got to be a reason. No, she's just doing the good thing to be like, no. I'll take them. Let you guys figure it out, and I'm going to go. And sure enough, she needs to be there to lead the rest of them because there is no leader at this point, right? You have the old leader who's down on the surface, and you have Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. So we do need some sort of general or leader who's there. Plus, they sent that guy up, right? He managed to escape in the caves. They cleared him a path to let them know. So they're gonna have fair warning, I think, that there's a problem. So it'll be quite interesting. Plus, I mean, how big can that Imperial fleet actually be? I saw 6 interceptors, 4 bombers.
Yeah, it's enough to fuck them up, but
yeah, I mean, I thought it was a real cool close-up shot of those bombers. I just thought it was really nice to see them that way, and then how the interceptors open up and
again, visually, man, this episode was just great.
Yeah, it was really good. It's a 10 on 10, 100%.
Oh,
they did a really good job.
Oh, jeez,
giving a rating already, 10 on 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, at my point, I'm gonna wrap it up and I'm done.
All right,
Copy
him, Dan.
Okay, yeah, Dan.
No, I thought it was all right. I had a lot of fun with this episode too. But I do have something. I don't know if you guys feel the same way about it, but I feel like this is starting to become more the Bo-Katan show than it is the Mandalorian. It's the show was called the Mandalorian for a reason. It's
I totally knew you were going to say it. I called it last time.
Yeah, but they're all the Mandalorians.
Yeah, but
it's not the Bo Jarrett show.
On him. He did the whole thing with
Bo
Grogu.
Jarrett.
He did all of Din Djarin.
Oh no!
It's like they did all this stuff with him, to bring like with Grogu and all this stuff, and then he had his training and all this other stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're just gonna sideline you, bring Bo-Katan in, and she's gonna be the savior for all the Mandalorians, and didn't try to, but the Mandalorians, yay! I don't know. It seems like a little bit of a cop out. I like the stuff that's going on. I just don't like that it's more focused on the whole Bo-Katan story than it is on Mandalorian more so than Bo-Katan.
So
I have no problem with Bo-Katan.
It's hindering the experience of the show for you.
I find it is. I find, like I said, I'm a little on the fence because I like some of the stuff that's going on. I just feel like they're kind of doing like what they've been doing with a lot of the other shows that they've been doing. It's just, we're gonna talk about this one character, but then we're not really gonna talk about this one character. We're gonna sideline them for somebody else. So it's like, why didn't you just make a Bo-Katan story? That would have been cool. Like they did like when they had Ahsoka come in on the second season. They brought her back. Everyone was losing their minds, and now she has her own show, which she's going to develop there on top of whatever happened in the Boba Fett series.
Okay.
Like she was there and she was setting up stuff, and she set up stuff for her own show.
Okay. Well, we'll touch on that after
So,
because it is a topic I want to ask you guys a question about. Not, is it a Bo-Katan show? I have more to it, but I want to ask you guys about it after. But what else did you think?
Outside of that, I still liked a lot of the stuff that was going on. The action was nice. A lot of the attention to detail, like you guys were talking about, was actually really nice. Yeah, just to see the actual like the Mandalorians kind of have like an actual threat this time around, whereas like beforehand with the pirates, it just seemed like they went in, they did what they had to do. It was like, yeah, there's a couple pirates, but it's nothing us Mandalorians can handle. And then it's like, oh, now they have Beskar like us. Shit. And then,
Well, you know what?
But
It didn't phase them though.
And no, it didn't completely phase them, but it did slow them down. It was like a little bit unexpected.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And if you had to give it a rating,
I'd say it's about an 8, 9 if it wasn't. Probably more of a 9 if it hadn't been so much more focused on the Bo-Katan story.
okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I think they still could have did it.
Gives it a 9 out of 10. Also,
shit.
he really liked it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Josh. Rant.
Oh no, I rant. Jesus. No. While Dan was talking, I just kind of realized something. I guess one of those like late thoughts or whatever. But like in one of the other episodes when they're like investigating the ship that Moff Gideon was on, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Beskar stuff." So now it dawns on you that it wasn't the Mandalorians who broke him out; it was Moff Gideon's own people. So it's like the foreshadowing that he's actually using their tech and all that shit, or the metal. So I thought that was a cool little touch that apparently I just didn't think about.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if they. Well, I feel like they might bring it up at one point, or might.
I don't think they are. I think it's just one of those, like, how like some shows they have the foreshadowing, and then when you rewatch it, you're like, okay, I should have seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that was like one of those moments where, like, if you rewatch it, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Because like it would strike me as a little weird that no Mandalorian said anything about helping Moff Gideon, and there he is and all that crap, unless there's going to be a big secret spy reveal or something. But like,
that's what I was curious about, the whole spies, because you don't really outside of that they don't really touch much. It's like, is it the Imperials? I don't really think so. What, like, they weren't really
spies.
So
again, could have just missed it, but whatever. So I thought it was like kind of like a cool foreshadowing touch. So I thought that was neat. Wazim, I was trying to say something before with when Grogu had the IG-12.
Yeah.
And you thought it was a little fucked up because it's like riding a corpse. But the last episode, you're like, they're not people. They don't have feelings. They're just robots.
But it's IG-12. It's like, I don't know.
He's past programming.
It's like using a can opener in R2-D2 and then sticking Grogu in there. You know what I mean? It's like
no. It's like a cybernetic body, and then Grogu is Krang from Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Like, God,
he even has the two little handles too, which is perfect.
Well, that's it. But it's like, that was the only thing that didn't make sense to me, and maybe I missed it. I thought he needed IG-88 or maybe IG-11s or whatever memory. The whole point of him putting it back together was because he needed his memory.
Oh,
Because
he needed his memory because he wanted a droid that he could trust to help him out and all that crap. But once he proved untrustworthy, he found another droid, right? And
Yeah,
then
right, you gotta
he
refine
just
it.
pretty much reshifted his body. They mentioned that they took out his memory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just the body. So he's just animating the body. It's basically like an exosuit or a little mech. You know,
Iron
he's
Man.
basically just like Gundam
Okay,
Wing.
because I just found that scene funny. I'm just like, he clearly told you that he wanted his memory back.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
did
but that
he
was
build
from
him a
before
suit
because
body?
he wanted a
And then
droid
that was
that
more
he could trust all
foreshadowing.
that shit.
Yeah, he wanted his
But-
memory back because he wanted a droid that will remember not to shoot Grogu. So,
Yeah.
And then it woke up and tried to shoot him. Oops.
and the only reason he wanted the droid to begin with was because he wanted something to go read the gas levels on the planet. So he doesn't need
Exactly,
it
yeah.
anymore.
So that's it. That's why I found it funny. They're like, hey, look, we rebuilt him. He's not 11. He's 12. It's IG-12, and it's like, and then
That's smart,
Mando's
hey.
like, I don't care. I don't. If he's
Hmm.
I'm done.
But then they mentioned that
trust me,
they took
trust me.
out the memories, so it shouldn't just
Well, that's
blast.
it.
It's,
And
that's
then
why
we realized that it's just a bodysuit for Grogu, and then to me, I'm like, this is like some of the best foreshadowing I've ever seen on TV. Like, if Grogu needs Grogu
he's
needs
gonna
a
turn out to
bodysuit,
be a little Iron Man. He's gonna
Yeah,
have a
and
big
it's
mech
like,
too.
it's not
He's gonna be
Iron
like
Man.
Diva
You kids in
or
your
like
Iron
Tucker
Man.
Ball.
It's not Iron Man. It's Robot Jocks.
Robot Jock.
It's Robot Jocks.
I don't know. I
Watch
just if there's
Robot.
if there's a
Iron Grogu.
fucking season 4 of Mandalorian, I just want to see like Grogu walk in with IG-12. Like, you just hear like shoot the thrill.
Yeah,
That's
beautiful. Yeah. So what about the rest of it? I don't know. The rest of it I thought was pretty solid for what it was. It was good storytelling. They had all their inner conflicts or whatever. It was an interesting touch to hear that there was a lot of different factions and all those factions just warred on itself. So you're like, oh, the Mandalorians could have been absolutely great if they didn't pull United States and every state hates each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was directed at someone in chat, but yeah.
Yeah, I was directed at Say just because I talk shit just to make her mad, but it's okay.
She used to have been quiet this entire.
USA,
She's gonna send up a middle finger any second now. So
No, I thought it was interesting that was the reason for the collapse of everything, and that's why you had like the Armorer and her group, and Bo-Katan and her group, and every other group, and blah blah blah. So I thought it was an interesting touch, just to add the extra lore and why they might not have been as connected as they probably should have been. Because originally I thought there were just two different factions, like Bo-Katan's and their helmets off, and the other one with their helmets on. So I didn't know. It sounded like a future song. So I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to know that.
hang on,
there's
say
different
I'll
factions.
allow your comment. There you go. I have to allow these things. What the hell?
I'm not gonna say it on live.
So
send
if
you
you
a
had
chat.
to, if you had to give it a rating, what would you give it?
If I had to consider everything, I don't know.
Just
like
the episode. Just the episode.
7.5. No, yeah. Well, as an episode, because when I rate an episode, I try to do it unbiasedly.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, while it has nice graphics, some parts were a little slow, and then while some things were slow and made up for other things. So overall, I think it was like about a 7.5. If I had to be super realistic, because some parts were kind of cool, and then some parts felt like it was just dragged.
No, that's 7.5. I'm dealing with chill.
Wait, what?
What?
The hell was that?
Oh, you can hear me? I thought my mic was muted. Sorry, nothing.
Hey, by the
I'm
way,
gonna lock you
by
in
the
an
way,
IG-13, and there's no windows. You're just
Well,
gonna be
I agree with your 7.5. This is where I like our rating system. This is where it gets fun.
fine. I give it a 2 out of 5. 3 Oreos out of a biscuit.
It's a 10 on 10. You don't know. You don't know.
Come on, 3
Guys,
McDonald's
guys.
nuggets out of KFC bucket.
It's a
Yes,
5 out of 7,
yes,
right? It was
yes,
a 5 out of 7.
Yes.
Oh man. So
No, I thought it was good. So 8. Is that okay? 8.
Better.
better.
IG-88.
This is
There
the
you
way.
go.
IG-88. All right, fantastic. And for me, it's sitting at an 8 also. 8 out of 10. Like I said, visuals were great, the story was great, pacing was great. The music was good. A lot of scenes that had some great, like, traditional Mandalorian and Star Wars-esque music in it, which I really appreciated. The reason for the 2-point knock is just, like, I understand that it's TV, right? You have to, like, suspend your belief to an extent. But, like, the whole thing, like, you know, you go to, like, you know, like Goldfinger's secret lair, and he announces his whole plan, and then Mandalorian's like, "Hey, light this door up, even though we can't shoot at it." What does Moff Gideon do? Yo, open that door. It's like, what the fuck? Anyways,
Fuck, we fucked it.
it's just like it's not logical to me, right? So those are the moments that stick with me.
What was that?
And the other reason is
But it actually is logical. And let me tell you why.
they're Muslims.
Because the Mandalorians are not going to get killed by their own laser blast. So the only thing they can do is try to blast
What?
through the door.
What if it bounced back?
At that point, the laser has lost already that much energy, and their Beskar.
Standing in front of it, it goes like and hits him right in the chest.
They're going to shoot. Laser's going to hit. It's losing energy. It's going to come back to them. They're not worried about secondary fire. If we're talking about Beskar.
I worry about secondary fire coming from Minigun Boy.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to shoot them unless he's in.
What if Grogu got hit?
That was a weird scene. I'm just saying.
Grogu was just
You
in
know
his stomach.
I was really hoping that Grogu would get shot. Like,
It's
he would have a
no,
scene where he
no,
would get
no.
shot and like, ugh, and then they reveal Beskar armor. We're like, oh! I was really hoping he would get that. I was really hoping
He is
that-
wearing a Beskar armor.
He is. He has a medallion like on his chest.
With the chain,
I was
You
hoping
got the
we'd see
chain
it. Like I really was. I was hoping we get to see that, but maybe they're saving it for something else. So that was the reason I gave it.
Good. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that was the reason I was giving it a 2-point knock. It was because of that, and it was also because I do agree with Danny a little bit how it's focusing a little too much on Bo-Katan. Not that it's her storyline is great. I like the way it's playing out. It's just like I wanna see Din Djarin, and it leads me to my
It's Bojar.
to my to my first question. God rays are shining down on Beskar, says Static Terps. Yes, they are. And damn, that's a big ass dog.
Riker. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So the first question I wanted to ask you guys, like, I understand that we're like, Danny really explained how it feels like a Bo-Katan story and not Din Djarin's, but I want to know what you guys think of Din Djarin's arc so far. Do you think they're playing it correctly? Do you think they're not playing it correctly? Or when I say playing it correctly, I don't mean he's not talking enough, he's not getting enough screen time. I mean, do you like what he's doing?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I have no pride because like the other 2 seasons had a lot of focus on him. Boba Fett at some point had a good amount of focus on him. It's not even his show, so for him to be like a side character in somebody else's plot, but at least there's a plot. Considering like they were even like excuse me behind the scenes they were considering canning Grogu or something.
Mm-hmm.
That you mentioned. Yeah. So no, it was interesting that at least.
From what I know, it's what's his name there? Jon Favreau wanted to end with the whole Grogu story because that's how he wanted to finish things off. He didn't want to like continue it because where could you really go outside of he found somewhere to go and train, and then what's her face ended up kind of basically outside influences kind of started taking over more of the show, and Jon Favreau is kind of at a point where he's a little flustered with the fact that the outside source is meddling a lot with both this season and with the Book of Boba. Not to mention the second season, considering a lot of what he wanted to do is completely changed.
So it's not his call?
No, it's not. A lot of what's going on is not. It is his call, but there's
only one person who could overrule him.
Yeah, he's
the president of LucasArts, Lucasfilm.
Okay.
So right now he's at a point where he's like, I'm kind of gonna dip out of. Don't quote me on this. Not 100% sure if this is true or not, but he's at a point where he supposedly might be leaving the Mandalorian for that other person to keep going with, and he's just gonna focus on Ahsoka.
Okay.
So having said all that, you don't like Din Djarin's arc in this season?
Okay.
Not completely. Like I said, I feel like I don't really feel like there's much of an arc for him outside of just being that, hey, I'm here to, be your meat shield, and outside of that, it's more. It feels like it's more the Bo-Katan story, and like I have no problem with the story. I just kind of feels a little bit. I don't know how to put it, but it feels
pushed. He does feel like move aside. I do agree with that.
I think
but I'm also okay with the side story.
Yeah, I don't mind the side story. Like I like side stories because I don't want to focus entirely on like one thing. I don't mind them having other stuff. It just feels like he is now the side story and Bo-Katan is now the main focus. Whereas I feel like it should have been a little bit the other way around. They still could have done something nice with her to like to bring her back in. Like she was a big thing from what I can tell in the Rogue series, and I'm not sure about Clone Wars, but I know she was liked and people want to see where her story was going to go. So it is nice to see what's going on with that.
So yeah, Static Derp says that season 1 and 2 were good, but season 3 feels like he reached 100% story mode. Sorry, he finished 100% story mode, and he's doing side quests and taking bounties.
kind of.
Yeah, basically.
I have to admit, I kind of agree with that sentiment. It does feel like a side story, but I think it's important to like because
like
we're blinded by
no,
the
go ahead,
Bo-Katan factor, how she's always taking over, right? How she's always leading the charge, or she's doing the pump up speech or whatever. But you can't. For me, I'm trying not to lose light of what Din Djarin did accomplish in this season, right? So he was able to find Grogu and bring him back, and still manage to take care of him, which is not a huge thing. He was able to regain his entry into the order of the Mandalorians by actually dipping himself in that holy water. He was able to identify that hey, actually our planet is not as deadly as we thought it was. And then he was able to drag Bo-Katan out of her slump. She didn't want to have anything to do with whatever was going on out there. He led the charge against the pirates, and then in this episode again, he led the charge in a lot of the fights. If I'm being honest, like he led the way. So I feel like his character is still Din Djarin. It's still good to me,
Yeah, no, that's that's why I haven't like completely said like no, this is a complete Bo-Katan story, and they completely sidelined.
Yeah, Static Turps mentioned that's a huge point. He does claim the land for all Mandalorians to have a temporary home.
Yeah,
so
no, that's definitely true. Like I said, it's not like it's 100% the Bo-Katan story. It's just it definitely does feel like it's been pushed that way.
It feels like it's
what's going on? What's going on is still good.
Okay,
It's not 100% horrible, but it's not in the realm where I'm like I like where the series is 100% going. But I do.
He's pretty okay. Like especially with what was saying, and then the fact that he's not actually like a true Mandalorian, right? He was somebody else who got inducted into it. No. So to do all this and all the extra and all this shit while the actual Mandalorians aren't doing nearly as much as he is, he has the best armor. He is how he held the Darksaber. He is now helping Bo-Katan. He's well regarded everything. Like, to me, for him to lead everybody would be kind of not, I guess, just because he's not a true Mandalorian, but to show his mettle through being basically the hand of somebody who could rule. To me, seems pretty interesting. And, like you're basically watching his story as the hand of the king kind of thing.
But she's not going to rule, though.
She's not?
The leader right now is still the armorer, no? Or she's still the... Well, I mean, she's the... What do you call it? The witch doctor of the tribe, I guess?
Yeah, she's basically the shaman of the tribe. Or,
shaman, yeah, the shaman of the tribe, sorry. That's what I was looking for. And, I mean, what I was trying to say. So, I mean, Bo-Katan could lead them. She's only right now been charged with leading and gathering. Not leading, but like gathering and making everybody come together. And which I think was a good idea. I don't know if she was really like supposed to lead everybody, because once they're Mandalorians. I guess they need a leader. So I mean, she would be it, and Din Djarin's all like, he's like, I'll follow you. Don't worry, like you're the shit. Like it's cool.
I got you.
And he's like, and he's not being submissive.
Sam.
Exactly, like.
Got you,
surrogate fame. He wasn't looking for fame. He was just looking for his family, and he did it perfectly. His story is done. Like,
yeah, that's what it feels like.
His story's done, but he's been a part of the whole thing, and now everything's going to come together in this last episode of like they're united. Whoever still is on the fence is going to realize, hey, this is going to be my family now. It's basically going to be Imperial versus Imperial, because they stole the Imperial fleet. And now they're going to be fighting more Imperial forces. It'll be an interesting battle. Very interesting. I thought about that now, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's with the exception of the, sorry, with their ships, they're the I had it in my head 2 seconds ago. The ones that move up and down there.
Yeah, the 90s scrunchy. Yeah.
Isn't that the ship that I like using?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A 90s scrunching.
Just to highlight the Static Terps, what he said. He said he's just saying that season 1 and 2 were a set purpose of taking care of the kid, but season 3, Tall those feats kind of happened randomly. It wasn't his goal to do all those things really. I think he's mentioning, like finding the land, saving Navarro, all those things that we talked about earlier. And then he adds, don't forget that the show is called The Mandalorian and not Din Djarin. The story is supposed to progress of the Mandalorian people. Keep going through Bo.
Yeah,
which
you
is
mentioned
Mandalorian.
last week. Yeah.
The Mandalorian happens to be him, and then the Mandalorian meaning the day in the life of, and
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
And the one thing that I hope happens is like somebody was talking about it earlier in today's review. It was something I was saying like how I forgot what it was, but I had a thought, and I would really like to see. It's the darkest shit, but I'd like to see the end of this story of the Mandalorians to be like the Dark Knight, like the unsung heroes. They have to play the bad guys. Oh, it's when you were talking about they found Moff Gideon's ship and they found the Beskar armor, and it connects now. It makes sense why they have that. Like how like the New Republic is gonna go after the Mandalorians when the Mandalorians actually save them, and they can go the Dark Knight route and just say, hey, we'll just be the Silent Guardians, okay? We'll take the heat for now,
You know what? I'm gonna make a. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that's a horrible idea. But
Joe just went, all right.
I mean, I think we need. Everyone loves the Mandalorians. If you killed them off, I think Disney would take a talk about getting an earful the next day. People. I mean, I for one, when I started into Star Wars, whatever, I could care less about Mandalorians. I only knew Mandalorians existed, one, a little bit through Rebels, which again, I didn't get the full story, and two, I had a buddy who was always doing cosplay, and they were all dressed up as like what I thought was different Boba Fett's, and I'm like, what is this deal? And then like he made some like little thing and like us Mandalorian, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's true. I guess Mandalore could be. I'm like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And then the Mandalorian and Boba Fett's story, I'm like, hey man, these guys actually aren't that bad. Like this is actually cool people. Like they're not just bounty hunters. This guy actually has a backstory. He has a people with the helmets and they can't take them off. I'm like, okay, this is kind of neat. But I think what's really going to happen in the end, and I'm predicting here, is that remember corner store gas guy, our friendly neighborhood rebel X-fighter pilot,
Blue, right?
Blue, yeah,
Blue, yeah.
He's he said, "Oh, that's Beskar." When he saw the Moff Gideon escaped or whatever, and he saw Beskar armor or explosives or whatever that he was, oh, we did a scan and there's Beskar. They're probably going to say, "Hey, the Mandalorians probably did this," because I thought it was going to be something where they're going to frame them. So I have a funny feeling that like the new Republic is going to come in and be like, we have to go to Mandalore, or we have to go where the Mandalorians are, because clearly they saved him, they took him out, so they're the culprit. This has to be dealt with. So they're going to be like, now we're going to go out. So I have this funny feeling that, like, maybe not in the middle of battle when they're about to be losing, because the Mandalorians might be losing because they're getting caught off guard. The rebels are going to show up, and the New Republic, whatever, and they're going to show up and be like, you guys, and it's like, oh no, I'm Moff Gideon, and then they're going to tell them, no, it wasn't us, and okay, and then
Okay.
Cool.
Sing it, dance along.
It's a prediction. It's just a prediction. Everything is just coming to my head to be like how everything felt. Because why would they say Beskar? He's Anyways, that whole thing what they did on Coruscant, where they were like, oh well, it's got to go through this paper, and we have to send this acquisition to go out and save him, and blah 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 blah. But now they have a reason. I don't know. That's just a prediction.
Just want to catch up with the chat here. Static Terp says maybe in the future seasons they will bring Sabin Wren or a prequel to introduce pre-Vizsla, which are all Mandalorians.
That's true.
He said they both wielded the Darksaber.
Well, I guess he didn't see the Ahsoka trailer. Not Sabine is there.
Oh, okay.
You guys have to watch Rebels. It
Oh no,
ties it. So good.
All of this, I heard Seven Ren, and I'm like, yeah, X-wing. I gotta play X-wing again.
That's what I'm saying.
But Rebels is a chore though. It's a lot of episodes, man. I want to watch it. I want to start it, but damn, I'm gonna need some time.
Just put it on your phone and listen to it while you sleep. I mean, it's a kid's show. It's like 20 minutes.
It comes up with a completely different story.
Static Tips confirms he did not see the new trailer for Ahsoka.
Get off the chat.
So, last question I want to ask you guys real quick.
Because I want to eat my Oreos.
So no. Go ahead. We'll have Joe's chow time instead of Danny's. So,
I gotta switch it up.
real quick, what I wanted to know was for this season. Now, I don't want you guys to talk about like what you're gonna give the entire season like as a rating overall. But for me, this season is a real roller coaster. It's up and down. It's up and down. Like this episode to me was really good. I really enjoyed it. It really got me into it. What was the episode before this?
The droids malfunctioning and
Lizzo eating
whole
Oreos
Lizzo-
and blackjack.
Oh, but
Yeah,
Lizzo was
Lizzo
the
and
best
Blackjack.
part. Lizzo knighted everybody. It
No,
was
but you see,
great.
but compare that episode to.
What the hell was the point of all that?
I have no idea.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're just gonna give you a plan. Oh yeah, and by the way, Grogu, you're now knighted because you're
All right.
cute.
What do knights do? Oh,
So compare that episode to the episode we got today, and to me, there's a real polarity there. Like it's really night and day in terms of quality and the type of show that this is. I don't know if you guys agree with that.
This is what happened. They booked all these actors, and they're like, and they're writing, and they're like, oh crap, we've already paid these people. We need to put them in something. Write an episode real quick because we got 2 more episodes left, and that's what it feels like now at this point. I mean, they've got this episode with such a build up for the
This
last
episode should have been where Doc, where they realized he was actually Doc, and Marty comes in with his McLaren with
you know what I did?
with his DeLorean.
There's a
Hey, Doc, we gotta go.
there's actually a meme out there of Lizzo looking at Doc and she's saying, "I'm sentencing you to spending the rest of your life in 1886," and Doc just turns around and runs with flames at his feet.
That would have been perfect.
Static Terp says that now that we've seen this episode, that episode definitely felt like a filler episode, which is exactly what it was. But what I want
Yeah,
to know
it
to you guys, like compared to season 1, 2, and now 3, does this season feel more roller coaster, like up and down in terms of quality versus the previous 2 seasons?
You're always gonna have a blippy episode. I think that one. It was just that
I-
one. Again, I don't remember anything about.
I know a lot of people who didn't like episode 3, the episode where there was no Mandalorians, nothing. It was just the entire time Coruscant, Imperial chick. A lot of people thought that episode was boring, including Danny.
I don't think it was boring at all. I think it was showing another side of the galaxy that we needed to see to understand what's going on with the New Republic. To understand that they needed to be there because they're in the end. They had to build that up because now we see that the Imperials are coming, and we see Thrawn is going to be coming back. So it's
Yeah, it's
boy.
nice to have filler and story, but like, there's only so much filler you really need to like put in there, and there's only so much lore you need to know. They could have just gone with like straight to the point, got what they had to do, and they could have done a little bit more with that rather than like an hour of just.
Call it 2 filler episodes. Call it 2 filler episodes out of what 8? How many episodes are there now?
We're on episode 7.
They seem to be consistent with 8 episodes per season.
Yeah.
So it's fine. So 2 out of 8 ain't bad.
And I'll have to admit, like based
Yeah.
off the last episode that we watched, I was actually discouraged to continue. I didn't want to finish the show because I was like, okay, this is the quality that they're setting up for the show now, you know. But now after today's episode, I'm like, okay, they ended it on a cliffhanger. Truck is dead, and it's like, okay, well, I want to see what's next. Like, what the fuck? Like, are we gonna get Din Djarin back? Are they actually gonna kill off this character? Is Grogu gonna finally do something? And to me, it really shows that they have no idea what to do with Grogu. They have no idea what to do with him at all.
Yeah.
And he wasn't supposed to be here. That's why he wasn't supposed to be in the season. So
Yeah.
I don't find him awkward at all. It's just his sidekick. It's something that it's one of the Djarin's like his part of his luggage. You know
that's what it's turning into right now.
what it is.
Should probably leave him home.
But I like to think of the episodes as like they always have an homage to something. Like for instance, when we saw the episode with the privateers, not the privateers, the pirates who took over Navarro, it reminded me of the Magnificent Seven. And this episode specifically reminded me a little bit more of kind of like those old samurai movies, you know, where like the Ronins meet the actual samurais and they have to team up to go back and take back their castle and stuff like that. So I appreciate those callbacks. I feel like the show does that quite well. What are you double chinning for, man?
Sorry, I'm stretching my neck.
Oh, okay. Well, because the screen is so dark, I don't see you using a tool. I was like, okay, it's having fun.
Unlockable backpack ornament? What?
Static Turks. Oh, he's calling Grogu an unlockable backpack order. He said, get him in a loot box. But so that's it for episode 7.
right.
All in all, it rekindled my interest, and yes, I'm excited for episode 8. And you know what? Until Joe mentioned it, it haven't even crossed my mind. Yeah, I think we're about to get a fucking epic space battle.
I hope so. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Dope as hell.
Yeah, honestly, the little dog fights that they've had in this series have been pretty solid.
Pretty
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today, and we will catch you
problem.
guys for the finale. Like, I don't think Joe or maybe Josh can be there, but I know Joe won't be there. We'll definitely have PT
Yeah, that's
online.
right, guys.
Static
I'll be in
Terps, Ali, if you guys
weekend.
want to be there, join us. Sariel, if you want to be there, join us. She's gonna be like, "Fuck Mandalorian, it looks like Detroit." No.
Like Detroit.
Thanks for joining, everybody. We'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.